Hey horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, it's time to do my top 10 best horror movies of 2019. Yes! Now, as I stated in my top 5 worst horror pictures of 2019, I absolutely love these videos. I always do the first worst, and then I do the best, because I always like to say the best for last. Now, of course, obviously, if you want to see my top 5 worst horror pictures of 2019, I'll leave a card right up there for you to click on. You can watch that video at your leisure. And as I stated before in my other video, these are my opinion. These are what I believe to be the best horror films of 2019. Some of you agree with it, some of you might not. Some of you might consider these pictures some of the worst horror pictures of 2019. And I do believe there is definitely going to be one up there a lot of people who probably will not agree with at all. But, like I said, this is my opinion and you have yours. Now, as I did with my 2019 top worst horror movies of 2019, I had this honorable mention. So obviously in this one, I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions. And the first one is going to be Haunt 2019. Now, Haunt was actually a nice, ambitious project. If I'm mistaken, this was directed by Scott Beck and Ryan Woods. They also wrote the screenplay as well. I thought it was an interesting premise where you have these kids going to an extreme haunted house, and it turns out that unfortunately the performances are actually real and people get killed. And there's something with the performers, their mask. When they actually take off their mask, they reveal some body modifications that they've done to their face. I actually thought it was pretty interesting. I thought the kills were nice. I thought the actresses that played, let's see, I think her name is, give me a second here, Katie Stevens. I think she played the lead actress in the picture. I thought she did a pretty good job. She's very believable. When you start caring for them, obviously still had some of the cliches in here, but I felt the movie was good enough to be on my honorable mentions list. So Haunt 2019 is one of my honorable mentions on my best of list. My next honorable mention for the best of 2019 will be Satanic Panic. I actually thought it was an actually good, ambitious horror picture. It was a horror comedy. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was very funny. It was very well directed. We had some nice gore in this one and some good practical effects. We have Haley Griffith stars in this one, and also Rebecca Romaine is actually in this one, and also Jordan Land and Jerry McConnell. Now, Jerry McConnell, he has a funny bit in this particular picture, and I thought it was an interesting premise. You see this pizza delivery girl. She's trying to make it on her own. She's trying to, save up some money, and she decides to go and take this pizza delivery over to this nice suburban house. And it turns out that the whole suburban people are a bunch of Satanists, and they're going to sacrifice a virgin. And I actually thought it was pretty funny. It was a nice picture. Like I said, good practical effects, pretty good acting. I thought Rebecca Germain was very over the top. You could tell when you watch this picture, she really enjoyed what she was doing because her performances, she chews up every scene that she's in the picture. She could tell she's really enjoying herself here. So another one of my honorable mentions for 2019 is Satanic Panic. So now coming in at number 10 will be Little Monsters 2019. No, not that Little Monsters, I believe, that starred Adam Sandler, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be I forgot, Howie Mandel. I think he was the one that started Little Monsters. I might have my actors wrong, but this Little Monster stars Lupino Luongo, Alexander England, and Gosh Dash. Now, it was a nice little zombie apocalypse thing where you have this guy, Dave, who's taking his nephew, because he's hot for Lupino Luongo, he's his teacher, decided to go to this little zoo thing, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, a zombie apocalypse breaks out. And they're trapped in this farm. And it was a nice little movie. It had some nice practical effects. Obviously, Lupino Luongo, she's excellent in this picture once again. And I thought the chemistry she had with Dave Alexander England was good. Gosh Dad, who's actually the voice of Olaf from Frozen, he has a funny thing in here as a children's television show producer, who actually turns out he wants to bang every kid's mom in this particular picture, this particular movie right here. It was nice. It was well directed. I thought they did a nice job. The script was very well. So coming in at number 10, Little Monsters 2019. Coming in at number 9, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to get me for this, is Child's Play 2019. Yes, I know a lot of people did not like this particular remake of the beloved 80s classic slasher. Some people started saying hashtag not my Chucky. Yeah, I know. I know the two of you, you know who I'm talking about. You definitely did not like this one, but I actually did enjoy it. I actually thought the script, I thought the premise was interesting. Instead of just rehashing Charles Lee Ray's storyline, I actually thought the writers did a pretty good job of making this a little bit different. Yeah, it's a big cliche, but I still thought the interesting idea of having a automation auto robot instead of just Chucky being this particular one as opposed to having another voodoo possessed doll was brilliant. I like Audrey Plaza, so I thought she was good as Carrie Barclay. I thought Gabriel Bateman as Andy Barclay, I thought he was pretty good too. He was a nice kid. He wasn't annoying. Yeah, some of the parts I didn't like, but I did like the kills. I thought it was very gory, like the practical effects. And I really thought it was a decent horror picture. It was not a bad remake, and I really did enjoy it as opposed to some people who really didn't. So, coming in at number 9, Child's Play 2019. Coming in at number 8 will be Happy Death Day to You. Yeah, some people didn't like this, but I actually enjoyed it. This is a sequel from the surprise hit of last year, Happy Death Day. Jessica Robe, she once again returns as Tree Gilman. We had Israel Broussard coming in as Carter Davis. Yeah, I thought the plot was a little bit kind of ridiculous because it basically kind of rehashes some of the things, but mainly because of the performance of Jessica Raw, because it's basically her performance that makes this movie such a good horror movie. And there are some scenes between her and I think Ruby Muldoon. I thought that was very funny in some of the ways that they try to do it. I thought that the time travel or the alternate dimension was a little bit out of whack here. We don't have the horror element. I believe that was the only problem I had with the picture was the time element. It deals more in science fiction than it actually does a horror, even though we still have the slasher in it. And I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed the movie a lot. That it's number 8 on my top 10 list. Coming in at number 7 will be the surprise hit of the summer, Crawl. Yes. When the trailers came out from this, I actually found it pretty interesting. Trapped in a hurricane in southern Florida. And of course, all of a sudden you're surrounded by a bunch of gators. Alexander Aja directed this film. He did a pretty good job. We have, now I'm probably going to mess her name up here because Kaya Scalerato, I think is how you pronounce her name, and Barry Pepper. They basically are very good as Haley and Dave Keller, the daughter, father, and the father's trapped in the cellar of the house. She tries to save him, and they're surrounded by a bunch of gators. I actually watched this again last week, and just seeing how good those gators were and how tense it was and how scary it was, I really give the filmmakers credit. And of course, Alexander Aja directed a very nice film. We had some good practical effects. The gators look real. The setting was nice. It actually looked like what you would predict in a hurricane, and the film was very good. So that's why it's number 7 on my top 10 list. Coming at number 6 will be Ready or Not. Yes, another interesting premise. Samara Weaving, she really is becoming one of the modern screen queens of the year. She was in The Babysitter, she was in Rampage, and now she's in this one. And every time we see her, she does an excellent job. In this particular one, she marries into the wealthy family that she thinks she's set for life. Unknown to her that they have to play this game where they chase after the bride, and if she survives, she gets welcomed to the family. If she doesn't, they get to kill her. If they don't kill her within the time frame, they could all disappear. It's supposed to be, we find out later on that they make this deal with the devil. That's why they're so rich. And I thought she handled herself pretty well because in the beginning she doesn't appear to be a person who can handle herself. And all of a sudden, once the truth is revealed and she has to actually survive, she has to survive this crazy ass family, and she becomes a badass all of a sudden. And I thought that was pretty good, and she does a pretty good job. Very well directed. We have Annie McDowell in here. She stars as the matron of the family right there. And of course, we have veteran actor Henry Cuisine. He's in this as well. He does a good job as the patriarch of the family. I thought it was a pretty good movie. That's why it's number 6 on my top 10 list. And now we're getting into the nitty gritty, the top 5 horror films on my list. And coming in at number 5 is Doctor Sleep. Yes, Doctor Sleep, the Mike Flanagan directed film, and the sequel to The Shining. Now, I really enjoyed this film a lot. Ian McGregor is great as Danny Torrance. You know, I like how the film begins. I like his character, Ulf. I liked his relationship with Arbor. I thought the actress did a pretty good job playing the kid. But the best part about this is Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. Man, I simply just love her. She is one of the best villainess I've seen in a horror picture right here. I thought she did a pretty good job showing her. I also like the film did not pull any punches in this particular movie, because when the film begins, they go after a kid. Another aspect of the film is that they kill a kid. They don't pull any punches. They went there. So I give Mike Flanagan and his crew a lot of credit. Very good horror picture. Really enjoyed it a lot. So coming in at number 5 is Doctor Sleep. Coming in at number 2 will be It Chapter 2. Yes, I truly love this film. It was number 1 for me for a while, probably before I went on ahead and decided to make it my number 3 film of the year. Let's see. Obviously, Bill Hader. He's great as Richie Tozer. Jessica Chastain, she's in this one, and James McAvoy. I thought they all did pretty well, but obviously Bill Hader, you know, his performances as Richie, very contrast to the beginning part of Chapter 1 as Richie then and Richie now. He has the best character art in the whole entire film. I know a lot of people didn't like It Chapter 2, and I said mainly because it's easier to project kids being afraid as opposed to adults. So I thought that's one of the reasons why It Chapter 2 wasn't as frightening as It Chapter 1, but you still got to give Bill Skarsgård credit. I still thought he did a pretty good job as Pennywise once again, and probably doing something a little bit different as opposed to what he did to the kids in It Chapter 1. But my fourth on the list is It Chapter 2. Coming in at number 3 will be Brightburn. Yes, what if Superman was actually evil, or destined to be evil instead of the hero, despite the fact his parents are good-natured just like the Kents, and that's what Brightburn is about. Really enjoyed this film. We had some excellent practical effects in this particular film. I thought Elizabeth Banks and David Denham did a pretty good job as Tori and Kyle Brenner. Obviously, Jackson A. Dunn was brilliant as the kid. You know, he comes off very innocent and nice, and eventually his predetermined destiny, as we see the film comes out, he tries his best to be good, but he can't help it. He has to be evil. For some reason, that's what we think that's what he's destined to be. And basically, when you have the power similar to Superman, this kid can do some damage, and he does do a lot of damage in this particular movie. So I really did enjoy it. So coming in at number 3 is Brightburn. Coming in at number 2 will be Jordan Peele's second outing as director, Us. Yes, I truly did enjoy this particular movie as well. Once again, Lupita Nyong'o is back again on this list. 2 times on this list she's on here. This time she's in this movie, Us. Along with Winston Duke. Yeah, actually, he was in Black Panther. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Now, it does take a little slow to get started. And obviously, we have that twist that comes at the end of the movie, which I actually saw coming in the beginning. But I don't fault Jordan Peele that. I thought it was part of the storyline. Obviously, the film gets going when we see this doppelganger family come and attack Lupita Nyong'o's and Winston Duke's family. They're exact duplicates of this one. I thought they were very frightening. I thought the language that they taught was weird. I like Lupita Nyong'o's because they play dual roles. The same actors that played the family also played the doppelgangers. And I liked her conversation right when they go on ahead and meet their duplicates. That's what they really are. And then, of course, we get the main shock as the picture goes on. that there are other duplicates here. So I thought Jordan Peele did was a nice follow-up from Get Out. Probably not as good as Get Out, but I still enjoyed the film enough that this is number 2 on my list. And so my number 1 film, horror film of 2019 will be Midsommar. Yes. Ooh, boy, you want to talk about absolute mindfuck. And I do mean that literally. Only Ari Aster can make a commune that's bright and wonderful and happy, as screwed up and terrifying as he does in Midsommar. I thought Florence Pugh was fantastic as Danny. I thought Jack Renner was good as Christian. We have some very frightening scenes in here, some interesting folk tales coming along in here. It's a very fascinating film. It's probably not for everybody, and that's simply the type of film that Ari Aster makes. It's simply not for everybody. Yes, it's a slow burn, but I didn't mind that because the way this movie is and the way he directs his characters, it's more character focused. Yes, he does put some horror elements in it, and there's some nice gore and practical effects in this movie, but it's basically a character-driven storyline, and Danny's character storyline really fits into what he does, just like he did in Hereditary. He does in this particular film too. So my number 1 horror film of 2019 is Midsommar. And so that's my list for the top 10 best horror movies of 2019. You might agree with me on some, you might disagree on others. Put your comments on the comment section. Tell me what you think are your best horror movies of the year, and if you agree with some of mine or not. So that's my video for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video if you can. And if you're new here, if you want to be notified anytime when I put up new material, just hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell as well. Also, all my social media links will be in the description box below as well too. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember, horror rules. I also want to take this time out. I want to wish all my subscribers and everyone else, hope you have a happy and festive Christmas, and I'll probably see you sometime soon. See you later. I'm out. Peace.
No fair. No fair, no fair.